Welcome everybody to Vandar Station, and wow, I'm so excited. This month's free games for PlayStation Plus, one of them I'll get into later. It's a really cool one, but it's a very big download. The other one is Batman, and if you've ever played any of the Telltale games, let me tell you what, they are absolutely incredible. Well, there was a few things I wanted to get off my chest this morning. I usually get up and I watch, I have a cup of coffee, I watch YouTube, try to keep up on what's trending and all that really good stuff. And woke up to hearing about how I'm going to say his name wrong, Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is, the North Korean guy, spouting off of the mouth about the button. Look, when I was a kid, that's all we used to hear about as far as politics and everything else. Like 90% of my family, they could care less, really, honestly, who was the president, as long as, number one, our lives were a little easier, and number two, they did not press the quote button. So he makes this big tweet, which really our world leaders are using Twitter as a platform to basically publish their political propaganda, which is funny in itself. But anyway, Donald Trump basically tweets back at him that he's got the same button and his button is bigger than his. Just a reality check for everybody that's out there. Number one, I don't think, and this is my opinion, but I don't think North Korea would have the blatant stupidity to not launch any kind of nuclear missile at pretty much anybody. Even if they shot it at the States, there would be so much backlash from other countries that honestly there would be no more North Korea. It would be gone. And I know he knows it, and I know North Korea knows it, and I know this is all just a political game to get attention focused on these guys, and I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous to me. It really actually is. Which bleeds into the next thing that's really not as much talked about in the news today is they want to say that this particular problem is all on like college campuses and it's geared towards college campuses, but it's not. It's across America. Is this whole eggshell skull mentality of this particular generation? Not talking about mine in particular, but the generation that's here and now. I can tell you now from experience, I actually have a 16-year-old, and I will let you know that it is 110% true that they all feel like they are entitled, like they deserve everything, and they should not have to earn anything, which is kind of sad in a sense. My take on the entire thing is that it's just like it is in the real world. It's a culture. It's how they're brought up. It's how the people around them help mold and shape. Because you are your environment to a certain degree. And the bad thing is a lot of these parents and a lot of these high schools and a lot of these colleges and our entire educational system is catering to them. Like, for example, there is a law in the books, and it will be, hopefully it won't be a federal law. It has to do with the microaggression generation. There is actually a law getting ready to be put forth. And you can Google it, and yes, it's real, and no, it's not fake. I've actually dived pretty deep into it. That it will be against the law to microaggress someone else. Now, here's the problem with microaggressions. No matter if you've ever heard of that term before, if you've never heard of that term before, Microaggressions are way too broad, and even if I just said, for the sake of argument, I don't like the color red, and there's a person standing over here that's got red hair, that's a microaggression. I could get in trouble with the law for saying that. Well, under that particular law. I'm kind of hoping that lawmakers look at how ridiculous this actually is, and they don't take it seriously, and they get it off the books, and it completely goes away. But my advice to both parents and kids of this generation: learn to take criticism. Learn to be insulted. Okay? Take your innocent... Things like that are supposed to help grow you into a person. Being able to take criticism like that, being able to take insults like that, is part of life. Well, what are they going to do when they get into the actual real world? Hopefully that doesn't change, but what are they going to do when they get into the real world and it eats them up? Because it will. Okay? When you're at your job and you don't do your job correctly, your boss does not pat you on the head and worry about every single thing he's going to say and, oh, it's okay, baby. No, that's not how it works. And we all, as grown-ups, we all as adults know this. I guess what I would say is just be realistic. I'm all about realism. I'm all about what is actually realistic and what's just smoke and mirrors, what's just a game. But speaking of games, alright, I'm going to give a full review on this probably in the next few days, but I got something for Christmas that I was kind of, when I saw it before, was kind of standoffish about it, and I really wasn't too sure. But check this little gadget out. This is from AT Games. It's a handheld device for the Sega Genesis. It's loaded with, they say 85 games on it. I'm going to say probably anywhere between, I think it's like 10 and 12 of the games that are actually loaded on it are licensed games. The rest of them are just knockoffs, or just, they're fillers, basically. It does have a really cool option on it to where you can take games and load games onto this SD card and expand the library that's in the system. It's got an AV out if you want to play it on a TV, although the only way to get your hands on the AV out is actually not in the box. You actually have to go to AT Games, or I think if they still exist, I don't know where, I know there's none around here, but Radio Shack used to carry 3.5mm jacks that were out to left-right audio and video. It does come with a rechargeable battery pack that actually surprisingly lasts quite a while. Let this thing sit on for, was it 6.5 hours? And it finally killed the battery after about six hours, I want to say. The only other thing I don't really like is the audio quality out of the headphone jack. To be quite honest with you, and you're not going to hear it the best, but let's just load up something really... here's a classic from Genesis. It's called Columns. Here, let's see. The sound quality out of the actual speaker itself is really honestly better than... which is weird, it's better than the headphones. Menu selection is great. The games that are actually on here, I was surprised. Got right out of the box all 3 Mortal Kombats, Comic Zone, which anybody that's a Genesis player knows Comic Zone is one of the best games on the Genesis. It's Phantasy Star 2 and 3. I really wish they would have put the first one, but I'll settle for 2 and 3. And both of the Shining Force games. Anybody that's old school like me would know what those titles are. Great titles if you ever get a chance to play. And I think that's actually going to be it for today. I want to do a Let's Play of the Batman. I know this is just background fodder for right now, but I really honestly would like to do a Let's Play of this and dive into it on my first play. I'm not actually going to play it today. I want to give it a fresh start and have you guys interact with me with it. It's early in the morning. It's coming up on 10 o'clock in the morning. So I really don't expect anybody to be watching this live right now, but later on, if you guys check this out, just put in the comment section below if this weekend, if you guys would really want me to stream, we'll say either Batman or the other surprise game from PlayStation 4, which, wow, yeah, I was very, very surprised, because it's actually a really underrated franchise, but a very, very good franchise, and I haven't played that game before either, so it'll be a first for both of us. So thank you guys very, very much. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to comment down below. I need the comments. Any comments on games you guys want to see, things you want me to do, things you want me to say, things you don't want me to say, stuff you want me to stay away from, blah, 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 blah. I'm going on a rant because I am extremely tired. Alright, thanks guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell to get notified, and I will see you guys at the station.